Police violence against university professors in a global catastrophe and its impact is disastrous. A cry, stop, I'm a college professor. The roots of police violence go back to the size of the administration in government institutions and universities. Through my long experience as a senior and old university professor at the University of San Jose, I can see that the administration in universities, especially the University of San Jose, has greatly inflated until it has become like a giant stock company. You cannot imagine the size of the administration, which exceeds 4,300 employees, and the conflicts that exist within it. And in contrast, the limited number of professors in it, which is 1,224 compared to the number of administrators. The number of permanent professors at the university who represented the university's cornerstone is 469 professors, and the number of students is more than 36,000. This huge amount of management creates terrible conflicts. Of course, public and private universities represent authority in the government in general. Since the administration of San Jose University and the California Faculty Association are nothing but a racist group controlled by corruption, evil, and illegal practices. I am certain that the government institutions in the states in general are governed by nothing other than the law of the jungle. It is the law of the powerful who are protected by their positions and strong relationships. These people are not subject to the law that oppresses the weak like me and those who do not have strong positions or relationships and mediations. The law applies only to the weak and the helpless. As for the emperors who consider themselves gods, who control people and the course of affairs, the law does not apply to them or harm them. This is all due to the huge size of the administration institutions in general and at San Jose University in particular. The University of San Jose has become a center and a base for administrative authority. Thus, it fights science and scientists by not encouraging scientific research, as most of the university budget is spent on its administrative positions and centers and not on scientists and scientific research projects. In the context of my experiences and knowledge, experienced people control the College of Engineering in general and the Department of Computer Engineering in particular, and this in turn causes the practice of all forms of corruption that have spread throughout the body of the university and the faculty in California. How many dirty rules do they play with me, with all the administrative and professional staff? They are a corrupt gang of racists and extremists who mistreat us and deprive us of many of the benefits and rights granted to us by the laws of this country and the states. My opinion on them is that they are just mafia-controlled high schools on each campus with a guard dog guarding and supporting them, CFA, with the stupid rules that are very destructive to everything. These are the holders of false chairs and authority. Their fate is the dunghill of history. No one will ever care about them. They represent the largest part of the state's policy and the public order with all its institutions, including the police. The police are also governed by the state mayor. whose powers are intertwined with administrative corruption. If the governor or mayor of the state is corrupt and racist, then of course the police will be corrupt and racist. The bottom line is that what applies to universities applies to the police. Corruption and injustice are rampant in all these institutions. There is no longer a place for justice in the United States of America as some imagine. The evidence of this is what we will witness in these few lines of police violence and against university professors. Stop it! I am a professor, cried University Economics Professor Caroline Fohlin and Noëlle McAfee, chair of the philosophy department. I could not bear these cries, so I cried for America, the symbol of freedom. I cried bitterly over the violations that happened to them and to other professors like me on various university campuses. I scream like her and say, "Stop it! I am a university professor and an oppressed scholar." I cry over what happened as is happening to me at San Jose University campus and ask myself several times daily, why are they doing these brutal and barbaric actions against us? Are we not the elite of society, the beacon of knowledge, and the bearers of enlightenment in society? Oh my God, save us from what happened and is still happening. We are not criminals, but respected university professors. I must say that university professors occupy a prominent and respected position in society. It is due to their experience, knowledge, and contribution to the academic and intellectual development of students and society. Professors usually hold advanced degrees like doctorates that distinguish them from the public and make them experts in their fields. Moreover, they play a crucial role in shaping the minds of future generations by imparting knowledge, critical thinking skills, and values to the students. They guide students through their academic journey and help them navigate complex ideas and concepts. The research often leads to groundbreaking discoveries, new technologies, and developments in various fields such as politics, economics, science, and culture. Their opinions weigh public discourse and decision-making processes and provide valuable insights on public issues. Therefore, they are role models and their opinions are considered at all levels. They are responsible for educating the next generation of leaders, thinkers, politicians, and those holding prestigious posts in society. They are often at the forefront of social and political movements, using their knowledge and experience to advocate for a change. For all this, they have recently become targets of police violence as they are regarded as a threat to the status quo. We have recently witnessed in video clips violence and harassment against them by police officers while they were peacefully protesting in some demonstrations. One of the most notable cases of police violence recorded was against a university professor in 2017, when Dr. Robert Goldstein, a professor at the University of California, Berkeley, was violently arrested while participating in a peaceful protest. Video footage of the incident showed officers using excessive force, including dragging Dr. Goldstein to the ground and placing him in a chokehold. This incident, along with many incidents like it, raised questions about the role of the police in responding to protests and demonstrations solely to stop genocide. While law enforcement officials must maintain public safety, they must also respect the rights of individuals to assemble peacefully and express their opinions. Last Thursday, April 25, 2024, several pro-Palestinian protests swept across major American universities, where police were called in against the administrators, leading to hundreds of arrests across the country. The University of Southern California has canceled its main graduation ceremony next month, citing new safety measures after nearly 100 people were arrested on campus and at least 33 people at Indiana University. At Columbia University in New York, the epicenter of demonstrations, demonstrators said they would not disperse until the university agreed to sever ties with Israeli academic institutions and withdraw its funds from entities linked to Israel. Dozens of demonstrators were arrested at Emory University in Georgia, according to CNN. In addition to the detention and arrest of Caroline Fohlin, a professor of economics, and Noëlle McAfee, chair of the philosophy department at Emory University in Atlanta last Thursday. A video clip from the scene showed two police officers violently throwing university professor Caroline Fohlin from her front to the ground and handcuffing her from behind with force and brutality. CNN filmed another video of detained women. The reason for the arrest of the university professor Caroline Fohlin is that during her interaction and dialogue with the police, she expressed her concern about the violent arrests and use of force by the police against students. The police at Emory University then resorted to excessive use of force, tear gas, and rubber bullets. Accordingly, Emory University bears full responsibility for the violence that occurred on campus on that fateful day. Students and administrators must be allowed to express their full constitutional rights freely. In contrast, the demonstrators were arrested after forming a camp in the university area on Thursday morning. Of course, the violations against university professors that have happened and are happening in universities are shameful and disgusting. What the camera lenses captured was the tip of the iceberg. No to bullying and police brutality in America and everywhere on earth. There is no difference between developed countries and developing or even underdeveloping countries. All are the same, and the method is the same. Violence practiced against defenseless civilians does not differentiate between a student, a university professor, or even the one guarding the campus. Everyone is under the grip of the police violence. The scene we witnessed is not surprising due to the decline of the United States of America. America has fallen in terms of morals, the violation of freedoms, and the oppression of defenseless civilians. It is simply because they protested against the abnormal policies pursued by the United States of America in its support of Israel and the war crimes and genocide it committed against the children of Palestine and against the people who wanted to live in peace on their land. What did the police in Uncle Sam's country, the country freedoms, leave for the police in third world countries? Beyond those scenes that were not denounced by the honorable among them, can anyone accuse Muslims of terrorism or accuse third world countries of brutality and backwardness? What did America leave for ferocious animals and birds of prey? Is it the civilization of savagery, bullying, and animalism that they promote and cheer for? Is it reasonable for the sanctity of the sacred university campus to be violated by throwing one of its professors brutally on the ground as if she were a criminal and registered as a dangerous person? She was handcuffed behind her back as if she were sacrificed while screaming in front of them and announcing at the top of her voice that she was a university professor. However, their ears have been deafened. Their hearts have hardened and their eyes have shut, so they do not see or understand. Hence, I demand that the officers who used this excessive force against her and other peaceful people be held accountable. There must be a pause to put an end to this farce. Society as a whole, including human rights, if there are still human rights, must confront police violence against university professors and students to ensure the protection of their rights. University professors and students are red lines because they play vital roles in shaping society. Their voices should not be silenced by force. Peaceful dialogues should be promoted. We must work for a society in which all individuals can exercise their rights without fear or being subjected to abuse, bullying, and violence. Police violence targeting university professors in particular and students as well is a pressing issue that continues to affect individuals and communities around the world, as it has implications for academic freedom and the pursuit of knowledge. Fear and the threat of violence in turn create a hostile and unsafe learning environment, making it difficult for professors to teach effectively and for students to advance academically. Violence is a form of systematic oppression that perpetuates a climate of fear and intimidation within educational institutions and undermines trust in law enforcement agencies, making it difficult for professors to feel safe on campus and thus carry out their academic responsibilities. It has become imperative for society to address critically this pressing issue and work together to develop solutions and policies. These solutions should include enhancing training for law enforcement personnel to de-escalate situations, increasing accountability and oversight mechanisms, and re-evaluating the role of police in educational settings. Efforts must be made to address the root causes of police violence and implement comprehensive reforms that prioritize the safety and well-being of university professors. Furthermore, campus safety protocols must be implemented. Support and resources must be provided to affected individuals, and a culture of inclusivity and respect must be promoted. Universities must prioritize the safety and well-being of their faculty by fostering a supportive and inclusive environment for all faculty. At the governmental level, the police officers who committed these crimes must be held accountable and made an example of those who dare to commit their shameful and despicable acts again. Their actions are a stain on the forehead of history and eternity, never erased by time, no matter how far apart these days and years are. My call and my cry to the oppressors. Release Carlin Fohlin, Professor of Economics, and Noëlle McAfee, Head of the Philosophy Department at Emory University. Release them and other university professors like them. Punish everyone who harmed them all. Do not respect the arena of silence. Desecrate it with the influence of the brutal law of the jungle. And terrorize university professors and students. I demand an official apology for these grave errors. I demand laws to protect university professors from all forms of bullying, physical, moral, psychological, intellectual, and material. I am a university professor like you and an oppressed scholar. There was an attempt to liquidate me and get rid of me physically, morally, and academically at San Jose University by the university administration and faculty members in 2002. The rate of violence and racism against me increased until the present time. My rights were taken away as they stopped me from practicing my work, so my salary was denied several times. They have practiced devastating brutality against me from 2017 to the present day and have distorted and twisted the law in their favor. They are the ones who own the law, decisions, ink, paper, and pen. Unfortunately, public universities are controlled by very big administrations, and these big administrations exploit their powers badly and practice hateful racism against distinguished professors. Their brutality is no less ferocious than the brutality of those who practice these inhumane and illegal atrocities against students of science and elite university professors. My call and cry to my dear colleagues. Finally, I appeal to all university professors to stand together against this injustice and this destructive brutality, and to stand with freedom of opinion and expression. Otherwise, this brutality will gradually increase and will be the cause of the end and destruction of America. As Abul Qasim al-Shabi, the Tunisian poet, said, thus reformers in every country get shafts when they try to reform. Be steadfast, my colleagues, despite oppression and injustice. We have the truth, and we are never wrong. We are people with a message, and the owners of messages are always targets.